Crop News brought to you by the Kansas Association of Wheat Growers and Kansas Wheat Commission. Together, we are Kansas Wheat.
Bill, thank you for joining us this morning. Last year, good year for yield. Drought maybe played havoc on some of those guys who were growing corn and beans and other crops. Good year coming up for Kansas wheat?
Well, Brian, it's hard to tell. We've got every year farmers put seed in the ground. They do it hoping for the best. And despite the fact that we've had drought throughout Kansas much of the year, there will be a lot of wheat acres planted this fall. We anticipate that a lot of the failed corn acres, some of the failed grain sorghum and soybeans will be planted to wheat this fall. The only way to get a crop growing is to plant it. So that's kind of the notion that we're going by. One of the unique things about drought is this year Kansas wheat yields were actually pretty good despite being dry the last 2 or 3 weeks before harvest. But what history tells us is that the drought effects won't really show up in wheat until the following year. So the 2013 crop, unless we get ample moisture this fall, over the winter, and next spring, that could be really greatly affected by our lack of precipitation. So farmers are putting seed in the ground. You have to plant it to grow it. But I think there's a lot of cautious optimism that that hey, we have a chance at some decent wheat, but we've got to have some help from Mother Nature to get there.
Late summer rains, as we're moving into October now, we've gotten some rain in some other places across the state. Does that give enough subsoil moisture to get that seed kind of germinating and starting at least?
Well, typically we need some rain to get kind of saturate that topsoil layer. Farmers will plant wheat seed 1 inch to 3 inches deep. So there should be enough rain, we hope, to at least get it up. It varies throughout the state of Kansas, of course, but we don't have any subsoil moisture at all. And we really need snow, late fall, late summer rains to replenish that subsoil layer to ensure that once the wheat is up, it has enough moisture to sustain it throughout the growing season.
With everything that's going on, Bill, what is your best estimate or outlook for 2013?
Well, of course, Mother Nature's going to be the answer on that, Brian. It's just awfully hard to tell, but we do anticipate probably an increase in wheat acres planted. Last year we had 9 million acres harvested, or I should say in 2012 we had 9 million acres harvested. We wouldn't be surprised to see that number increase as far as plantings. But again, it's hard to tell how the crop is going to be. Right now, things probably look okay at best, but we're not in really good shape with moisture yet. We're still in drought conditions, and as long as that is the case, that really sets that wheat crop behind going into winter and into spring. Now, if we get good moisture conditions, above normal moisture conditions, that could set us off next spring coming out of dormancy in pretty decent shape. But we're still awfully dependent upon Mother Nature at this point.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, let's talk about the yield contest.
Crop News brought to you by Heritage Tractor, your full-line John Deere dealer. Visit us online at heritagetractor.com.
Bill, thank you for staying with us this morning. Yield contest, third year for the yield contest. Gets better every year, I'm assuming?
Yeah, this is the third year that the Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers, in conjunction with BASF, has put together our Kansas Wheat Yield Contest. And it's kind of a neat thing, Brian, because we're trying to encourage farmers to maximize yields, to push yields a little bit. One of the bugaboos about wheat has always been we're not keeping pace with corn and soybeans in terms of yield. So we're trying to entice farmers to try and push it a little bit. And what we're finding is that there are some things that wheat farmers can do to increase yields. Now, the caveat is that Mother Nature has to cooperate. If we don't get rain, you can do everything right, and you're still not going to get yield. So we are finding then, Brian, that there are some things that guys can do, and this is the third year for the contest, and we've been, I think, successful all 3 years in learning a few new tricks of the trade, if you will.
Who are our winners for this year?
The 2012 contest had 3 winners. We separated into Eastern, Central, and Western Kansas. Eastern Kansas winner was Stephen Tuttle from Baser, who achieved about 64 bushels per acre. Central Kansas winner was Ron Oldie from the Palmer area in north central Kansas. He had 84 bushels per acre. And then Western Kansas winner was John Neiswanger from Wallace, which is near the Colorado border. He had 84.6 bushels per acre.
Average bushel this year was?
The state of Kansas averaged about 40 bushels per acre.
I mean, there's a huge number difference between the winners and the average. I mean, what are some of the things they're doing that I guess are pushing that boundary that you guys are looking for?
Right. Well, there's a lot of different things that farmers can do, and that's kind of what we're trying to figure out. First thing is selection of varieties, making sure that the varieties of wheat that farmers grow fit their particular operation and soil type. The other thing is treating that crop very well from the beginning. The successful farmers typically put on some kind of treatment onto that wheat seed to ensure that insects and diseases don't impair it from the beginning. Things like fertility, nitrogen management, making sure that the crop has all the nutrients that it needs to grow and be successful. So these farmers are doing those things, doing the little things that it takes to manage that crop and succeed.
Certified seed play a role in that also?
Certified seed has to be planted in order for farmers to participate in this contest, and that is a big thing. Certified seed has been shown to be healthier from the get-go, and that is a big deal. We've got to start the crop off right in order to ensure success down the road.
Next year, we're coming into 13 this year. Someone wants to participate in that. Website to go to? Or?
Our website is KSWheat.org. That's all spelled out. We encourage farmers to at least indicate interest in the wheat yield contest. We'll send them out a packet of information. It doesn't require them to participate, but it does give them more information. Our prizes are pretty good. We offer $1,000 cash to the winner, and then our sponsors also add some additional prizes too. So I think most of the guys that do it because it's kind of fun and kind of a challenge.